Parking actually 64 here. Birmingham, basically 7 o'clock in the morning. While I'm in Birmingham is not for the old Birmingham racecourse at Bromford Bridge. I was tempted to actually get a bus and let's have a look. I looked on Travel Line website and it's about half an hour there and half an hour back. And I wouldn't have a time probably. Weather isn't great. There's a good decent as it might wane. And it's just not, and I don't, it's a bit of a hassle possibly. Obviously, I think about it. I'm not here obviously for Birmingham, I'm here for Exeter, a meeting on the 9th of February for 2 listed races. One like for Christie race, that's a new race, and there's also a novice race as well. I think that's novice chase over Christie, novice listed hurdle as well, so 2 listed races. With different races at Exeter. I was planning to do this meeting for a while, I couldn't do it yesterday because of the, I'm walking past, some other plans, but that race, or one of the 2 races, actually been put back to the Devon National meeting, which I'll going to in just under 2 weeks' time. It's like a situation. I've not been to Birmingham, Exeter even, in nearly 10 years. The only time I ever went was Holden Gold Cup of 2015, and I've been twice in basically just under 2 weeks. So that's the thing. And that leaves Wolverhampton are finally getting around to a second with Farner Estates eventually, so that's next month, and so that leaves actually I think we only need an Abbott over those 2 now. But only British racecourse only been to once. I mean, always been at least once, but it's not. But only New Abbott now, not twice at least. It's not counting Toaster. Went to once Toaster, but of course that's closed, and Folkestone I never got to before it closed. Yeah, I was still trying to do a cafe, which seemed decent to the reviews, and I went in there. There was a menu there, and I was talking before I came. I was like, oh, that's a decent enough place. Went there was the station and the coach. I had to get my overnight coach down because simply we're travelling Newcastle about 5 to 8. Can't get to Exeter possibly even for the start of the meeting. Certainly not for the full either the free racecourse bus or commercial bus, both of which I can get today. Should unless the train delays, you get the free racecourse bus. And then going to get back a horribly long delay in Leeds, and then literally early morning. I mean, I'm going to Newcastle at 7. That's ridiculous. It's just train costs are ludicrous. I think it's the only way. That keeps going so skew. It keeps doing that. In fact, it's a different hat, and it still does the same thing. But it's just train costs are ridiculous. The only way really of doing it. So that's there. So yes, it's a cafe, and I thought, and I went in there, saw there was a menu there, asked about food and a mocha coffee, and. So, sorry, only doing coffee, and I thought, oh, what? It didn't say anything. Oh, sorry, okay, fair enough, whatever. And that's polite, but I just went out, because I don't want them to eat. And I'm thinking, why have you got menus there? I mean, what's going on? I mean, do you not want customers, frankly? I'll just get some in New Street run. I heard sort of a local-ish place. I think it might be slightly a chain one I think are going to originally. But not wide, I'm not sure if it is, but it's not wide sort of chain like Starbucks or whatever. Cafe Nero and the like, but I found some in New Street instead, and it used to be a chain probably, but I want something to eat. So I've got Kelso next Friday. I've got Lingfield. I'm not quite sure what to do. Decent enough flat meeting. Not quite sure what I was doing to it. I mean, it was quite cheap trying to take it late. Our meeting was quite decent. I think in an earlier video going to Cheltenham Festival, wasn't expecting to go to Cheltenham on Thursday and Friday, so obviously YNS stroke. Third all day, remember Gold Cup Day. There was another Kelso one, in fact, as well at some point. I don't think when the date is actually. All things, I think that might be 22nd, and there's one of the 14th for Valentine's Day. Well, yes, that's it, spending at Kelso Racecourse. I think that's it. I got probably plans coming up, maybe to go to other places, but nowhere off. I might do at Kempton, and that's all for later. Talking up the very long time I've got in Leeds Station later on. I've actually over 2 hours 30 here as well in Birmingham, because I've got a coach comes in when the train leaves for Exeter. So that's and never mind the 4 hour wait in Leeds Station early morning tomorrow. It's a bit of a mess. I'm now finding out New Street Station even opens at 8 o'clock. It's now 7:30, so that's not even open. And nowhere else seems open until 8 o'clock around here. However, Greg's is, I think, Looks like it may well be, but I prefer sandwiches Greg's. I don't mind pasties, I prefer sandwiches, and I look at the window, they're sitting on the rows. So I just wonder, I'm half hour potential. I'm just having a look to see, do it half an hour frankly. I'm looking around, but there's absolutely no open centre of Birmingham whatsoever. It's 7:30 on Sunday. Good grief, from that Exeter racecourse. Oh my lordies, I actually, a bus, free racecourse bus left supposed to leave at 12:20. I Exeter's devastation. I assume it probably did, as how it really is. There's some mind of its own. And I got here on the free racecourse bus at about just before 1:10. Absolutely crazy. It took half an hour to cross, I think, a river out of the station. To cross a river, basically. Nearly half an hour to cross a river in the middle of Exeter. And it's just madness. I've had some places where I've been, Brighton, Chichester, which is where you go for Goodwood, one or two others. Can't remember what's the back holiday was very slow traffic. Cheltenham's been once. I had half an hour from Cheltenham to a station at a race meeting. And it's not the longest journey. I mean, it's some way to walk. And he only just made the first race. And there's another one I'm thinking of. I've forgotten offhand. But this is ridiculous. I've only got a lot of sort of like Chichester have been to Goodwood on the bus. First chunk of the journey to Goodwood, the second half's very fast. There's just no traffic. The other one in Exeter was just traffic everywhere. It was hardly moving across the junction for about, I thought 5 minutes maybe. I'm not quite sure it was that long, but it wasn't much shorter of that. Not just stuck there. But they got to here, so I put up the bus, and it's just the driver. I don't blame the driver. I don't think it's her fault. The bus was just crawling along. I think there's a lot of students on there. I'm not even sure it wasn't technically a student bus. I'm trying to work out. It's just 39 passing there, which is the commercial bus going to Nabbit. That's the other option. So I would have got that out here for the first race. I wasn't even sure if I got 39. I would have even done that. I would have done, because that's just gone past now, and it's about 10 minutes just on the for the first race. I would have got it. But it was just horrendous. But that bus was just crawling like 20 miles an hour possibly. Oh, and this is a road. That's hilariously named as we're going past at this sort of speed. The Devon Expressway, it was called. It's a major road. Not motorway, but it's a major A road. And apparently some are saying it was even worse. I was over here with students saying it was even worse last time on. I'm not sure, I think it wasn't just students on the bus, there's some older people as well, like myself. So it might not have been a student, but I think there's just a lot of student race day clearly. There's a hell of students here. So that was bad. Then I get in, go cross the race course, go to another part of the race to get in, and someone saying, "I'm sorry, you're wrong part." As a clear student, I think I've ended up with a group of students there, because I remember annoying. I had a mention to a couple of people rather annoyingly pointing to members of staff that, as well as getting across and getting in, and pointing out, why isn't it, there's no member of staff to say which way you go? But next to once in my entire life, I just thought everyone else. There was no member of staff to just direct people, say if students go one way and us go the other. Which would have been very sensible. But anyway, so I say second time ever to Exeter, my lord. I'm a little worried here, but I haven't checked yet. I mean, 21st of February. How long I have before the first race? I've got an age afterwards off the race. I say I've got this train to Leeds out of Exeter, and I've got over 2 hours. And actually, it might be, I might have a lot less time actually. I was looking at a few possible pubs, but it takes so long. I might look within a mile basically of St David's, because I'd have enough time. 2 hours. I wouldn't want more than 2, and have time easier for 2 pints, and I wouldn't want more, I think, really. And suddenly now realising, well, I might get something a bit closer on the short list there. I didn't realise how much time I looked at my transport details, sort of worked out how many on my email to myself, basically telling myself what timings things are to do, just to check, so I quickly see what times I have for stuff. I suddenly realised, oh Lord above, that's a lot more time. I've got a lot of time I didn't think I had. So we're here for I'm going to get here the first race. So I'm not 21st. I have to check how long I actually have. Well, it's a bit nippy, but it is not many clouds. It's a bit of sun hovering there. It's much better than the other time I went to Exeter racecourse. I think I still saw the picture here, and I put that up, and that was a lot less nice weather. Alkaline 64 here. Let's get another racecourse. Oh dear me, it's a 4:21 train out of Newcastle Centre to Exeter. I have to walk in from Newcastle as the metro won't start for well over an hour. So it must be fun. That's last time I walked in. Sometimes it took longer than I thought, and I have put too much weight on my videos. It wasn't so bad this time. I'm only quicker than I thought today. It's not losing a little bit of weight, I think, though I didn't eat too well yesterday, I have to admit. Not hardly any steep at all, which is annoying. So yeah, extra for the Devon National and listed race. I think possible one, which was on the would have been the 9th. I was there. I think it's the 9th. Early this month. I haven't put down. Making one of my videos here actually because it's just not put any out at all. Back to Lingfield, I think, and that was a few weeks ago now. But yeah, that 9th meeting, there was a new Agatha Christie listed race, and then another race then. There had been two listed races on the same day. We brought this Agatha Christie race in and put this race, one race back to the day. And also, I'm going to my regional nationals. I'm going to do Surrey National. That's my transparent change to Leeds. I changed to Leeds. Actually, I'm going to get on with here now. I've got a few minutes. So I've gone to that. And I went to Bangor North Wales National. I'm not sure what any coming up. I said randomly going to check the festival. I've said recently, so I earlier somewhere recorded, I haven't put out yet, as I said. But doing with another feature waiting Leeds and then the train to Leeds to Exeter. It's pretty tricky. It's just so expensive. Consequently, it's always been expensive. It's even worse than normal now. So that's that one. And the coach, I don't know if I didn't check myself for pints or not, and I forgot to check. I probably do, because I'm not a temporary coach. But I think I looked last time was Exeter. I looked and I found the local pubs that I see nearby as for crow flies. We almost have a wither with these sort of weird old pubs. So I was on my train. I also actually do my Dante stuff. I also remember talking to my on Stanley Baldwin. That's coming by Zoom at 10:30. Do that on the train as well with Dante stuff for racecourse. Is that? I think I've got time I've got time on my way back to change at Doncaster, or time about an hour. And I'll so what time will pub will go to then, that's well over. I say the pub country wants to be tapped, sadly isn't open that late, and so I have to go somewhere else in Doncaster. In Exeter Station, I had considered Patrick Farmers Union, not to say the best local pub I think really, I had some, but it's just the nearest I felt to the station. It was difficult to work out. And just, it would probably, a couple minutes too long from here, but looking on maps, it's 12 minutes each way. I need to get up this bus as well, and I just think it's like a few minutes each way too long. I don't want to really push for a pint. But anyway, the weather is not good. It's quite nasty weather. The Met website saying it's a bit heavy rain. It is. It's not torrential, but it's bad enough. I remember that was that. Nothing like it was that. Fakenham for Norfolk National 2023. Second time into Fakenham. And it was so bad the weather, in fact, the bus between Fakenham and King's Lynn, no train station at Fakenham, I genuinely feared we wouldn't even get to King's Lynn. And I'd be stranded because we couldn't get, because there's no, any company due to get you home if trains are cancelled, but this has been a bus. And I feared that we wouldn't get there. It was just I was driving through horrific when I put a video up and down. I put a video of it, I took a video of it, I can't quite remember. Have anything of that, but anyway, I just hang around about 15 minutes and wait for the racecourse bus. A few things. It is breezy, it is raining quite a bit. I'm not exactly figure totally I go around, but dear me, it's not great. I actually have tied this up just as I was sort of going backwards, and only just stopping doing that. Well, the thing is, I don't know why they're trying to put this out away. Why there's no big screen? It's not up for the first race in Exeter. I mean, I've only been here twice before. Once, it was 2015, it was like this. Actually, I'll put this up again. I'm going to put up some an earlier video, so I might have put it tying into this one, in fact. But it was horrendous. It was just a horrible weather, a bit like this. But I think the viewing was worse. You couldn't really see Homestead brilliantly. 12 days ago was the other time, because I was saying not been 10 years and twice in 12 days. Weather wasn't, I mean, it was colder, I think, it was colder, but I don't think it was actually raining. I think it was just a bit, it was just cold, I think. But why isn't a big screen? Because of Exeter, but Baxter, it's basically nothing. It seems like I was thinking to myself, a bit like Chelsea City, not quite as bad as that is. I mean, Chelsea City is my least favourite race course, because you cannot see a thing. For a lot of it, about a mile and a half. It's really, I think, a very poorly designed race course. And it's always been like, I expect since its Great Leaves days when it was designed like that, and I just don't know why it was. I just don't understand the logic of it whatsoever, why the city is going to be inside. Here's not so, but like a big screen, it might be getting a bit more windy than it was. And maybe with the wind has actually picked up just the last minute or two. And maybe it's that, but it makes it hard because actually you can't see, I think you can't see back straight. There's a long home straight between the next bit, you see that. The other thing is, it took me 25 minutes on the racecourse bus into next to St David's to get here. And that's literally 25 minutes quicker than 12 days ago. It took, the difference is solely, we was at Exeter, I think it is, an Exeter. Well, I didn't really know it too well, but looking at my map for something and that came up, so it must be that. It took half an hour to get over that, over the river in the middle of Exeter. But today it took about 5 minutes. That's the entire difference, 25 minutes. The rest of the journey I think was the same. We crawled uphill on the Devon Expressway. The bus just goes and so slowly. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's like the booth stands here. It's almost embarrassing, this whole bus there. But that 25 minutes is a massive difference. Because I was worried actually. It took me 50 minutes to get here with a bus on Sunday, 12 days ago on a Sunday. And my train out of, dear me, it's where my face now is Wayne, Exeter Davis leaves literally 52 minutes after the bus leaves here. For some reason it's half an hour after Final Race. I'm quite almost going back to late. So once we start the Final Race, I'm surprisingly late that I think. I'm not sure. I know Jewel's race course I think a little earlier than that. I'm a bit worried. Because of course still anything, I mean when we came back in on Sunday on my bus it was a lot quicker frankly, so I wasn't there's this little concern. Obviously on hitting rush hour maybe on Friday might be a problem. But clearly it must be one off. I don't think there was an accident or anything obvious on Sunday sort of lunchtime. But it was so slow, it was just stuck. Literally, I think half an hour to get over the bridge, it literally took 5 minutes today. In the middle of Exeter. That's literally was 25 minutes to Virginia, I think was actually identical length. Yeah, so last night, this is nothing to horse racing. I was at Noel Coward play. No, I seen Blair Spirit. What was it? Private Life, interesting. It's almost slightly controversial. Its time was a bit of a sex scene in it. It was controversial in the 1930s, I know it wouldn't be now. There was a bit of violence in it between a man and a woman hitting each other, so I think there was equal shots there. But you can see a bit of a fridge when some man hit a woman. I mean, it's a comedy, bizarrely, of all things. But it was she hit his record over his head and hit it, and he hit it. It was obviously fake, very clearly a fake hit. It seemed just a little bit of a, it's just a bit of a shock because I didn't expect that, and a little bit of a shock maybe there. But what had happened? Firstly, we got it was in Royalty Theatre in Sunderland, a small theatre, not the main one. The Empire is the main one in Sunderland. This is just a small theatre near the University Metro station in Sunderland. And I got met with West Jesmond, and suddenly saw the bus replacement service or something or other, and I couldn't quite see what it was for, and I thought, oh no, good grief, between Buckley Winch and South Hilton, and I suspect it's a Network Rail issue. South Hilton, Sunderland and University Metro Station, they're in the middle of that. However, Network Rail run the part between, I think it'll be between Heworth and Sunderland. For a metro system, because that's actually share the same line as the metros, and so the main line, well I'm saying main, I call it main line, the line from Newcastle to Sunderland, and then down to Hartlepool and Middlesbrough or York, wherever you're going that way. On a good day it's a very nice train journey that actually through Hartlepool to either Middlesbrough or Yarm or wherever you're going down that side. But a metro extension, basically from Heworth onwards, uses the Network Rail line, and so Network Rail are in charge of that. There's clearly let's say no metro from Buckley Winch onto South Hilton, something had gone wrong, and I think, oh my god, you have to replace the bus, and basically I think I'm going to miss this play, because it's going to be difficult, and I was checking, which I still call it Twitter, or Metro, they're saying you can actually use the main line, trains. with a ticket. And I thought, we have to do that. Got off at Central Station, got a train, but then maybe the Mets were running again, I don't know. The train got caught behind the Metro. It says the same line, and I got to Sunderland Central Station, the train station. Whereas the state says that the Metro station's the same station basically. And still going around, it's like a quarter of an hour to get to this play, and it's about a quarter of an hour away. It takes my minute out of the station. I've never been a very good runner. I've put too much weight on. Maybe I've got a bit of weight, I think. I have to admit, but not a huge amount. But I had to walk very, very quickly, and I really was a struggle. You look on the map that luckily showed me where it was, just to get to it. But literally, I got in there and I'd sat down, literally, as the lead actress, first actress coming on. Of course, nowadays you call them all actors, of course. So I called her the first actor came on the stage. Literally, as I sat down, it was really that tight to start the play. And then someone behind me started. I'm very annoyed. My phone went off, and a few groans of the audience. And then after about 30 seconds, at the back of the theatre, there was a bloody conversation. There's a hero at the end saying, "Well, have to stop now." I mean, it's a bloody play started. I mean, no, I got there 20 seconds when it started. This is about 5 minutes into it. And I think I've never heard this before. Someone actually listened to a phone call during a play. And I was trying to do it quietly, but I could hear. Other people could probably, I think, could hear in front of me. It's the largest theatre in the world. And frankly, me, I would have been tempted just to throw them out if there was enough staff there, because it's absolutely disgracefully disrespectful. I've never heard in a play, I think anyone, it's very unlikely a mobile phone goes off. It does happen, but for stuff. I don't think the play had that too much, actually. More talks maybe, or something other, but in the play, not so much. But he just... We're going to answer it and talk to them about half a minute. Someone like that, and they say, "Oh, I've got to go," because I can hear him saying he had to go. And it's totally disrespectful. And I would have been tempted just if I'd been in charge of that. I've seen it happen. I'd have said, basically, there's no arguments over phone now. You just do not do that in the play. It's a cock up and his phone turned off. That's, okay, it's just, don't do that. There's too much maybe to form out for that. But to actually talk to someone, of course it could be something absolutely quick, like a hospital appointment, God knows. It may be even funny enough, I had a conversation. I severely doubt it was, it's very unlikely. And it was just deeply disrespectful. So anyway, I'm here again. So I'm here at Lingfield next Saturday, it's Friday. I generally thought I'd shoot up by Zoom today, only to find out while I was done travelling down, one at 12:30 to 12, done by a friend of mine actually. It happens to be something I'm for a member of. And he does some talks, and he was supposed to be there. And my weekly Dante thing between 1 and now 2:30. I thought it was 3 o'clock. It's actually 2:40. It's end at 2:30, and maybe it's always 2:30. I think the things off the website saying exactly what timings it is, and maybe just ends half an hour early. I don't know. But it's very good. It's very good value though. But then I found out that my mate's one starts next week, so it'll be on the class of Lingfield. The Dante thing for the half term is next week as well. So both times I just logged into a Zoom talk to find out what wasn't taking place. And I looked at, oh, right, that's next week. Oh, right, a later one. And then an hour and a half, 2 hours and a half later, I thought, oh no, that's next week as well. So God knows they're going to Newcastle tonight. There's a train replacement service that gets in about 32:55. Although we only got in 1:45 anyway, so I don't think there's the greatest difference. We just have to work even later getting back. I'm thinking to entry on the Thursday for one national meeting. I'm not sure. I like my old Darsby roof station. I'm going to entry about 10 times, and I've always claimed that ticket. One time gone national, one time Ladies' Day. It's a 46 stories up pretty much. I think 5 or 6. There's a white climb between races, and some of them I want to try to actually stay at the top. With Grand National, I just stayed actually at the top all the time. There's a great view in time winning post to run World Run. This is when I went to Grand National 2016. I can't make Friday or Saturday of the ancient meeting anyway this year, even if I wanted to. It was about 65, I think it used to be 55, but it's not an awful cost. And it's probably in terms of racing quality, we grade, it's sort of grading races, it's actually better than the other 2 days. So I may do that, I'm not sure. I'm still looking maybe in the City. There's listed a hate the course, but we're trying to go gradually for the listed races, and then they've got one and have to get a coach back from it maybe. That's an absolute pain. Have to do that, overnight coach back. And I don't remember anything else yet though. I thought actually I'll record a follow-up here just to the end. I'm actually outside the Watson Library in Newcastle, walking back from it to a train station. I made a mistake trying to get, I was listening to someone getting some light in the background in the way. I made a mistake about the train. The bus replacement service thing getting at 2:55. I had no sleep. It probably sound like I had no sleep. Well, very little last day and a half, frankly. So not a very sustainable idea, but unfortunately, it's just so expensive to actually have to fiddle around with it, and got back, of course, quite late. It was a pretty good meeting. The weather was pretty ropey though. It was quite bad the first few races, and then actually last couple, I sat with a few parades with the last couple of races, which I have to say, one of the other earlier meetings went to what's the Exeter again, and I think what the other one went to recently. What was that last week? Kelso. I think so. I don't know. I think I do like Kelso sacked it because of a cold. I'm not getting. Just am I getting soft in my old age? I don't know. But with bus and replacement services next week for Lingfield, that's one I get in actually from York at 2:55 in the morning. Not today. Got in about 1:30. Still, it's a lot more convenient. Actually, no, was it about 1:30? Quite earlier, maybe, I think, actually. So that's that. I might get a pint in Doncaster. So originally going to go to Mason's Arms. I was talking with someone about no more 10 minutes away from the station because they really had to get their pint, get back and get to the train. I was passing the Shire and looked across, and I think it was on a possible list of pubs. It was just a bit nearer. It was only a few minutes, about 3-4 minutes nearer. I looked across. I was down to Hambles, didn't quite recognise. I wonder if some of the pubs were hilarious. They put on beers I have anywhere in Newcastle, frankly, when there was. I want something new, I want something different. Even can be times, of course, I don't like something, but I'd rather do that in a way. Sometimes I think, that's not okay. I prefer maybe not this beer. Than just have the same pint every time. I wanted that. I just buy lager, bluntly. I want to real ale if you can have something you don't have normally. I was a stout that someone had that before. Probably done. I want someone you had. Didn't happen with pubs. I have to say, I should know a bit better. I mean, the stand-up comedy Newcastle, very nice thing. There have been a lot of nice things there. But something I've real ale on at irregular intervals. But they sometimes do cold glasses for it, and they did there, and we had it. And it doesn't work. It does work out lager, but real ale doesn't work. Cold glasses don't work. You sort of warm up beer. It isn't really a problem. And the pub outside, it wasn't a cold, it's a decent enough pint, but I think it was a cold glass that didn't really help. It was a nice enough pint. So my favourite pub in the country, Doncaster tap wasn't open and already closed. So is this it? I think, yeah. So I've got Lingfield next Friday. I said before, I'm not quite sure I'm going to. It's a decent enough races, but there's nothing. 6 races, circa 23, 24 to win the races, and then the 7th race, I think the first race isn't particularly interesting. But quite a lot of spare time after racing. Again, I think it must have been a cheap train taken out of Newcastle out of London. Was just, it was a mild delay, and I've got enough time, I think. Now, Tate Britain, does that open late on Friday? Now, why do I think it opens late on Friday? Does it do so? I'm trying to think. I might think about this actually. So I've only been to it once. I went back some years ago now, maybe 10 years ago, when it was racecourse. When the art galleries on Friday, I think it was Friday, were closing very late. Probably 10 o'clock. I actually leave earlier than that because I must go to Newcastle out of King's Cross on a weekday. Saturday's now it's 10 o'clock. But the entire day in National Gallery and Tate Britain then afterwards. Very long. I put too much weight on, I was saying, and walking around the galleries literally for 12 hours. I had basically 5 hours in National Gallery, taking a long time with that, and so, I'm circa the same in Tate. Bit less than 22 hours. So a lot of time in Tate Britain. I'm not sure I cope with quite so well. I don't know. I'm trying to think. Let's take one number late. Why did I think it opens late? Sort of my confusion. I have about 3 hours in London before race to get train to get to. Well, the train gets into King's Cross about 9:50, and the train at Victoria's 12:50. That's what I was thinking. I don't remember Tate opening late these days. And it doesn't. It opens close at 6. That's 3 hours in the morning. That's what I had. Well, my morning stroke, bit of lunchtime time. So I get it's quite a Victoria. Some of these 2 hours in Tate Britain. That's what I was thinking of about doing it. I thought it didn't open late. So I'm doing that earlier, and I'll probably go back to the British Museum afterwards. I suspect I might have looked at. There's 3 things previously to do in late night in London. I'll have to double check what they are, ones I haven't done before, and I think we ended with none of them really worked out. Some blokes bloody delivery wise on bikes. I have no issue about a bike. I can't ride a bike or drive a car because of disability. I have no issue about people on bikes. I do have the idiots. Always idiots seems to be people in bloody delivery drivers. And riders. And I suspect, I suspect they're just not got enough time to do the rounds, so to speak, by the Deliveroo SL and Uber Eats or wherever else. And you have to quickly I doubt they're paid well, and I think we'll have to give the times they're given are just ridiculous. I suspect they're allegedly, like Uber, were self-employed, and I suspect they're certainly not. I think if any issues now knocking them down, the government company will probably say, we're self-employed. It was one idiot in Newcastle at all. I just saw him as if him. It looked like him. I couldn't really tell, so I assumed it was a man. We're cycling down Pilgrim Street, just down to Fumler Street, the Castle at all, or pavement late night, and it's just, we're cycling down the Fumler Street, which is definitely not supposed to, by law, I'm sure it is, you're not supposed to cycle down there, they always do. But Pilgrim Street could be really, it's quite a narrow street, you can cycle down there, it's a real wish you knock someone over, absolutely ridiculous. I have no sympathy with drivers who do things like that. I think there's, it's absolutely reckless, frankly. So anyway, that's Lingfield. So I have time after racing. Feels again as well. So I've probably gone British Museum again. It's somewhere it's close. Yes, saying there's some options, but other options. But I'm not sure quite have the time to do that. I think. Will they close? That is that. As I said, I've got possibilities. My birthday's March the 3rd. I might go to Newcastle. I don't know if I said in the afternoon, I don't know. It's not a good meeting, though. I might message the friends, but the problem is my friends, obviously people work on Monday afternoons often, and also, frankly, it'd be a push at them to a race meeting ever, even in Newcastle. Certainly not Exeter. We're not going there. So it might be able. It's literally, I might try and get some drinks and someone done the weekend instead. There's a council meeting on Saturday, more battle hurdle, and I was planning possibly go to it maybe at some point. The prize was really on it for battle hurdle. It's good for council actually. Years ago they put in a decent racing, and got a bit upset, frankly, that people weren't, Southern trainers or something, weren't going. Like, it was 20 plus grand to win the races. I'm not going to people just going like Henderson, for example, or people, and also Nicholas probably as well, going up for it. And they got rather unhappy about it, saying, we're putting this prize money on, we're not getting entries for it. And I kind of doing it, and I see how we get for this. But one reason I might have to avoid this, that's the 1st of March, I'm pretty sure, is because I might, my friends might be on to go, if people go out, it might be Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Well, not probably all 3, but I do have an interesting thing I could do Monday night. It's a comedy, sciencey thing at the Stanley Comedy Club. I choose a very enjoyable jazz jam thing, not I can play anything, but I enjoy to watch. But so I'm not going on all 3 days, just trying to see what can be arranged. So I managed to check, I missed the entry, and I chose City, and I think that is the end of the very, very long day.